Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 Ownage Shack. It's David bringing you another Starcraft 2 commentary, and today you might notice two things that are different about my cast. The first is it's going to be a little bit clearer, and that's because I jacked up the resolution to max, and that brings me to the second thing. You will notice that this replay is not sputtering out, dying, and freezing like Crisis on a Pentium 1. And that is because I got myself a brand spanking new hard drive that I'm now casting all of my games onto. It really increases the speed. I'm even jacking up the FPS here. It's going to be a nice smooth replay for you guys, unlike the last one. So anyways, let's get right into this. It's going to be a Terran versus Zerg here on Lost Temple between the Terran player, ROOTqxc, and the Zerg player, SoFtBalL. Now, in case you don't know, SoFtBalL is actually Sen. But first I'll start with QXC here. He is currently 54th on the US ladder, so extremely impressive. He's got a 69% win ratio, which is absolutely huge. 3,000 points, and just a word about this player, he's actually very fond of drops, so he likes to do one-base drops, really good. He also coined the Reactor Hellion Fast Expand build. Now his opponent Sen, or I guess I'll just call him SoFtBalL just because his name is changed. Sen is a Taiwanese Zerg player. He is the creator of the one-base Muta build. I unfortunately don't have any rank info. I think he's on the US server sometimes, but I have a feeling this guy plays a lot of custom games, just because I couldn't find too much about him other than that. However, I do know that he is one of only a very select few non-Korean players to make it into the GSL, an extremely prestigious award. So, congratulations to Sen. So anyways, we see that he's quickly going for the hatchery before the pool, while the Terran player is already starting to wall off here, getting out a Marine. He's got his gas up, so he's playing extremely standard. We have an orbital command now going up. 3 drones are coming out for SoFtBalL over here. Pool is about a third done. Not a whole much other than that going on. We see that the Overlord has scouted in the wrong direction, but the drone is going to reveal what QXC is doing if he does not get intercepted by this Marine. However, very smart sending that Marine out there by QXC, able to intercept the drone, prevent the scouting information, and we actually see a bunker going up right now for QXC right over here, but it quickly gets thwarted by the 3 drone pull-off. Now you might be wondering if this is a waste or not. Well, it really isn't. You see, these 3 drones could be mining right now, but he's being forced to pull them off by the arrival of these Marines, so extremely good by QXC. This early Marine rush is so popular now. It's just so effective. The bunkers are up right by the hatchery, and he's going to be shooting at this, forcing SoFtBalL to get some Zerglings out. And here they are. He's probably going to need a bit more than that, though, to deal with this very strong bunker with 2 Marines. It's pretty hard to get out. He's going to load these to do some extra damage versus the Zerglings. Meanwhile, we see a second gas going up, as well as a factory here. The wall is now complete, and the Marines, there are 3 of them now, they're quickly going to work on the drones. He does not want to lose those drones. 2 of the Marines are caught outside the bunker, though. Oh, but they just managed to squeeze in. The SCV is repairing, but there's huge damage going down in the bunker here. It's not going to be enough, and I have a feeling these Marines are about to die. Zerglings are quickly getting us around, and down go 3 Marines, 1 SCV, and 1 bunker. That is a 250 mineral loss for QXC. However, it probably paid for itself because of all the drones that Sen was forced to pull. We have the starport going up. Hellion is now out. Great transition here. It's going to do very well versus the Zerglings. We see that 2 of them just get completely barbecued right there, and 1 is trying to make its way home, but it is going to get roasted too. The Hellion is now probably going to go and do some extra harass, but we do have a spine crawler going down for SoFtBalL. It's going to do very well versus the Hellion. If he can keep the Queen over here to prevent it from running into the main, it could be extremely good. But it is going to... Oh, the drones are lining up, taking tons of splash damage from the Hellion. More drones are getting hit. He's going to lose a ton of drones here if he doesn't take care of this soon. The Hellion's only at 15 HP, and it's going to be forced to retreat. The Zerglings cannot catch it off creep until the speed is up, but by the way it looks, the speed is not even being researched yet. We do not see that. So he's just going macro mode, and we now have a Viking going out, and I think I saw an... Did I see an armory too? Indeed, we are going to have Thor play, and I have a feeling this is going to be a Thor drop right on the ledge here. It's really one of the biggest imbalances of any map in my opinion. I know some Terran players might get mad at me, but to be honest, it's pretty cheap. Being able to drop up there a siege tank, a Thor, a couple SCVs to set up missile turrets, it's almost impossible to defend for a Zerg player. So really going for a fast expand on Lost Temple is so hard to pull off. Anyways, we see the Overlord is now going over here, probably going to just rest right there to check out when the expansion goes down for QXE. But like I said before, QXE, not a big fan of expanding fast. He really likes his one base play. The Thor is now out, and if I'm not mistaken, that is a collector's edition Thor? I believe so, because it looks way too sick to not be. We see that we have Arnold in there, just chilling out. Meanwhile, we have another spine crawler going down. He's going to be very protected against any frontal assault, but I don't know if he knows about the Thor yet. I don't even think he's seen the armory. If we go into his vision, we can see he has no intel whatsoever, and the Thor ship is now making its way over. The Viking is clearing the field of Overlords so they cannot get vision up here, but if he's not careful, he'll lose that Viking. We see that the Thor is now being dropped off, and it's going to quickly take out all of the drones here, and any extractor that gets put down is also going to be quickly pulverized. We see roaches are now up, and with that increased range, if he can get vision up here, the roaches can attempt to quickly snipe that. But we see SCVs are coming too. They're going to be used to repair everything up here. So hard to deal with, and the expansion is going down too. But this is what I'm talking about. He's going to get sniped if he's not careful. You really need to be careful versus those roaches now. The spine crawlers are now sieging up out here. He's really got to take this Thor out before it does too much damage. He's already lost so much. We can see that he's way behind in the units lost, and now he's working on the spine crawler, which quickly gets taken down, but the roaches are coming in and quickly going to work on the Thor. The SCVs are repairing, and it's not fast enough. He's forced to back out. Mind you, the Thor does outrange these roaches, but keep in mind that the roaches do tons of DPS when they're quickly sniping the same unit like that. We see that he's doing 30 damage per shot, 2 shots per, every 1.28 game seconds, I believe. So tons of damage being dealt by the Thor. He's got 8 kills so far. He's completely shutting down this expansion for the most part, forcing tons of units to be made when he'd prefer to make drones. Even if he doesn't take out the expansion, this is doing a lot of damage. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with how SoFtBalL is dealing with this, getting the roaches, threatening to take out the Thor, not allowing the expansion to go down. A lesser Zerg player might have already lost this by now, but not SoFtBalL. He is too good for that. We do have another Thor coming out, though, at the main. I really don't want to look out over there. There's so much action going down here. We got 2 queens, and the Overlord drop has now completed. He's going to be dropping right on here, and this might be the end of these Thor shenanigans. But one Overlord gets taken out full of roaches. 4 roaches go down, but I think this Thor's days are now numbered. Everything is piling onto him, but the SCVs are repairing. The SCVs now get sniped. Oh, and he loads up at the last minute to save that Thor's life. If he's lucky, he'll be able to save that dropship and and he GG's anyways. He knows he's lost too much. He cannot compete with the massive tech advantage of the Terran player right now. It's an extremely exciting game, although somewhat one-sided. But like I said, guys, on this map, it's kind of difficult for that not to happen. I usually do give a post-game analysis of what I think the deciding moment was. I think in this game, it was pretty obvious, though. The second that Thor dropped down here, it totally ruined the economy of the Zerg player. It took out tons of drones, forced units to be made when drones were needed to boost the economy. And SoFtBalL knew that an expansion was coming soon enough, and the Terran player would just be too far ahead to compete. So, a great game here between ROOTqxc and SoFtBalL. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next cast. I really hope you enjoyed this lag-free cast. I know I certainly did. It's very aggravating when you're casting it, believe it or not. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed your daily dose of Ownage.